First of all, Lee, let's just have a reflection on the last weekend. Of course, it was a frustrating time in the end, Saturday afternoon. Hard work from the ground staff and also hard work from a band of volunteers, but you didn't get there.
Yeah, and thank you to the volunteers that came and helped out. I got there and they were already going, wheelbarrows, shovels, the lot, you name it. But the weather beat us, but we're thankful to the people that come down to try and help. We were desperate to get the game on. We didn't want the break. The ground staff did everything they thought possible to try and get it on, and the ground was rock hard. There was no chance of it being played, but we give it every chance. The referee gave it every chance. We were hoping the sun would come out a little bit quicker than it did, but unfortunately no. But again, thank you to everyone who come down to help and try and get the game on.
Well, the good news since that is when it looked as though you might be going 3 weeks without a game due to no cup involvement and a postponement, you've got a game quickly arranged, and it is that game against Stockport. So you must be delighted that that fixture's been, consolidated and you're playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Stockport were keen to get the game on that day. It's obviously transfer deadline day. But we were keen to get the game on. We didn't want the break. We've had a bit of a stop-start couple of months really in terms of missing some games, etc. and postponements, but we were desperate to get the game on, and that starts us off on a good run of games. Every 3-4 days the games will come, which we're looking forward to.
How do you plan with your players? The supreme athletes, aren't they? They a bit like racehorses. They want to go out and run in races where footballers want to play football matches, and when there's no football games at the end of the week, how do you keep the spirits high and how do you keep them motivated?
Yeah, it was a little bit different this week, wasn't it, as if it was done on the day, but when they know there's a big gap coming, I don't care what anyone says, footballers can get bored because they want football matches. They can. You can do all the work you want, but they're looking forward to the matches. So we're keen to get these games going. I think I've mentioned in the past, stop-start, but we want the Saturday, Tuesdays to come, and I'm hoping the players will relish the challenge of what's to come in terms of having 9 games in a month. Yeah,
you've preempted my next question really, because I've looked at it and sort of think there's 8 games for you in a month. That's a real test for you, but you've got to get everybody fit and firing and ready to go because you'll need them all.
Yeah, and that's what it's allowed us to do with not having a game, is just get 1 or 2 off their feet, get the maintenance work they need, but also with the reserve games coming up, get 1 or 2 sub minutes, particularly a couple of the new boys who need some minutes, who've not had much football, to get them some minutes, so we can try and get everybody in a good place, so that when the 31st does come next week, we're in a better place with players coming back and everybody feeling fresh.
As you quite rightly pointed out, you've had a few newcomers come in the last week. That'll really help them bed in and settle down and know exactly how you want to work with them and how they've got to work with you.
Yeah, and it just gives them a little bit extra time with the boys to build some friendships. Good additions, we brought in good characters, which I'm keen on. But yeah, it gives them that little bit extra time to just adapt, settle down where they're living, and get up to speed with what we're asking of the players.
Those players that have come in, it's been a busy time for you. Pleased with how the work's gone for you?
Yeah, really pleased to get what we wanted over the line. The boys in the office have been working extremely hard to firstly come up with these targets and then get the deals done. We're made up. I think we've got a good balance of what we need throughout the squad, in terms of trying to add some experience and also some good players to the group.
Yeah, that balance was key for you, wasn't it? You brought 2 lads who've coming out for the first loans, will be excited about that and a big challenge for them. But you've also brought 2 players in, Elliot Nevitt and David Amu, who know the business and know the score. How key was that in your talks with your recruitment staff of what you wanted?
Yeah, you come up with a profile of what you want, and there's certain things that dictate if you're going to get them players. But certainly in the case of Elliot and David, as soon as we found out they're available, we jumped on it, and I must say both clubs were excellent in getting them deals done, and they had some excitement to the group in terms of Elliot. I know what he wants to try and achieve, not been in professional football for all that long, works hard, willing to listen, willing to learn, so he's going to give himself as an individual every chance, and he adds something different to the group. You can see in training he's finishing, then we're hoping to get him in them positions. David has been around successful teams. I actually watched him last year for Port Vale. He's come from a team that have been successful in and around a group in the squad most weeks. Hoping he can bring some of that experience to the group, talk to the players when need talking to tell them what direction to go in. It can't always come from the management because we're not always around the players. And then the other two, Ryan and James. Ryan was a player we highlighted quite early. Ollie Lancashire at Southampton was excellent with that. Really helped us, spoke to the player, really professional, and helped us get that over the line. James was a different one, obviously, because we weren't anticipating. There's always a chance that Arthur was going to go, so we had half an eye on that situation. And Brighton actually come to us with it, and it works brilliantly for both parties, I think, and it enables Boothie to go out on loan. And we got a good goalkeeper. He's with England today. Their goalkeepers looking to be involved in the under-20s, so really good additions. We've got to get them up to speed, and hopefully we can see them soon.
Are you done and dusted in the transfer window, or you never say never?
Oh, to see what lottery results are winter. I'm not sure. No, look, it looks that way. You can't ever be sure. Something might crop up, and we'll still be looking. But that's unlikely, unless something that can work for everybody comes along. There's
probably one or two in your squad who've been finding it difficult to break into the first team, and even on the substitutes bench, they might just look for elsewhere. That'll develop with it.
Yeah, we're always listening to the players if they need football and they want football. Sometimes that could come from us, that they're going to need some football. They're not going to get the games with us. And that can also then they could get frustrated. So we work together. I don't anticipate any real senior players going out on loan. It'll be more the younger players to gain experience.
Last time we spoke to you about how the injuries were going, it seems that Courtney Baker-Richardson was moving fairly steadily towards getting somewhere near. How is it now, a few weeks down the line for him?
Yeah, he's looking really good, strong, working extremely hard. And I ask him every other day how long he's going to be, and he just seems to take weeks off it. So, we just have to slow him down now and again. But no, he's looking good, looking miles more mobile in terms of what he's able to execute because of his injury. So all positive, and hopefully we can get him on the pitch soon.
Just finally going back to where you are with getting your players prepared and ready for that next game against Stockport. Obviously, you've got under 23 games. Will you use them? And I think there's a game at the Burnley, if that's on.
Yeah.
And would you try and probably look at a game at the weekend, or a behind closed doors friend, or in-house thing, so that you can knit everybody together?
We'll have an in-house game between ourselves at the weekend. I think it's too much of a risk to do it. And at the minute, come today, we probably don't have the bodies to do that. Like I say, we're trying to get one or two off their feet to manage them, and then build them back up as the week progresses. Looking more ahead to Tuesday, but we've got a plan in place. The players are going to be worked hard this week in anticipation for the game on Tuesday.